Rejoice. Rejoice always. Rejoice. Give thanks in all circumstances. Well, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, beloved St. Mark's community of bearers of the light. This is my first opportunity to thank you publicly for the prayers and support you have given me these past several weeks as I have recuperated from upper arm rotator cuff surgery and have begun my rehabilitation. Thank you. Thank you for your gifts to me, for tending me, for feeding me, and thank you too for the way you so quickly reach out to others in need of prayer and assistance, both within our congregation and throughout our community. Thank you. What an Advent community you are. I know. You like to proclaim that you are an Easter community filled with resurrection light, and rightly so, but an Advent community is one of hope. Hope even when the season is dark, when the weather is cold, when our long-delayed snow is coming down all at once. Rejoice if you're Dwight and Kathy in Hawaii, or Janet and Cora and Ted in Australia, even so far from those you love. Rejoice, yes, because it's almost Christmas, and the lights around town proclaim that on houses and stores the light is here. But rejoice also because God is with us, because the Word became flesh, because Jesus was born of a human woman. Rejoice in joyful anticipation of our union with Christ, that union we proclaim every time we celebrate the Holy Eucharist, we proclaim every time we lift our hearts in prayer. Malicious witnesses rise up. They charge me. They pay me evil in exchange for good. When I stumbled, they were glad. Strangers I did not know tore me to pieces. They do not plan for peace, but invent deceitful schemes against the quiet in the land. No, those are not headlines from the latest local, national, or global news feed, but rather words from the psalm appointed for our use on Friday evening. In the daily office of morning and evening prayer, the Friday Psalms are always the hard ones, the ones that are often so harsh that the prayer book suggests we might try swapping out some of the more gruesome verses. But also, they're the ones that remind us that in the heart of that pain, of that evil, God is there, hearing the cries of the oppressed, preparing to act, always there, never leaving us alone. And in that we rejoice. Our whole being exalts because in Jesus Christ, God has acted for all of humanity. God has, as Athanasius would say, become like us so that we might become like God. So we proclaim that joy like the people returning from exile, like those who sowed with tears and come again with joy, shouldering the sheaves, planting in hope even when all looked impossible, unbelievably grim, pointing to the light, even when, as in the passage we heard from John's Gospel, the authorities and their emissaries demanded proof. Who are they? They demand of John the Baptizer. Who sent you? Who told you you could baptize people? Tell us, so we can report back to the ones who sent us. It almost sounds like John the Baptist is on trial there, and he is, or rather we all are. The whole gospel of the evangelist John has important trial language. Witness, testimony, confess. And the trial we have is to point to the light as John has done, so that all may come to believe, so that others may see the light and may themselves become witnesses to the light. Here are some witnesses. 2 young women from St. James, whom I've known since they were children, 10 years apart, are following their vocation as journalists. Samantha Wolfile publishing long-read articles in the Northwest Pacific Inlander about climate change, about fire, about political turmoil. And Maggie Quinlan in the Spokesman Review documenting the harsh realities of life on the streets in Spokane and reporting the squalid conditions of prisoners held in facilities there. Bear witness to the light. When Thursday, Tri-State Outfitters had to shut down after a local group targeted the store to protest the city's anti-mask ordinance, another child of the church, Michael Kasberg, daughter of former St. Mark's member Mary McReynolds, put this on her Facebook feed. I know we're all stressed and have some extra time on our hands. May I suggest some activities to relieve the tension other than vandalism, theft, and reckless endangerment? Organize a food drive or clothing drive. Donate blood. Chop wood for a neighbor or help with yard work. Purchase your gifts from a favorite local business. Order takeout from a downtown restaurant. Decorate for Christmas a la the Griswolds. Overtip your service workers. Thank a first responder. Donate to any one of the need-based organizations in your town or county. Bear witness to the light. The vestry of St. Mark's, already meeting twice a month by Zoom, added to their time given to the church this past week by taking an anti-bias class offered by the diocese to share with the leadership of other congregations who are also in the process of calling a new priest their commitment to be open and affirming and to building the beloved community. Bear witness to the light. Our worship leaders and our deacon and our musician, our reader and usher, with support from Sarah Bergdahl, from Carol Espy, from Harriet Hughes, have held the doors open for the faithful winter worshipers this season, masked, distant, windows wide open, lifting their hearts in prayer. Bear witness to the light. Martha Kitzrow, Dwayne and Susan Hodgen, Kevin Brackney, Harriet Hughes, Ryan Law, Melissa Parkhurst, and Sue Smalley have been in the process of producing and recording a video which is being compiled even now by U of I student Kaylin Lechner, and they're ready to share it with the world for our annual Blue Christmas observance. Bear witness to the light. On Thursday, our Zoom group of Slow Church participants commemorated the mystic Thomas Merton, who broke the silence of his religious order to condemn the war in Vietnam. We commemorated the theologian Karl Barth, who sent a letter to Adolf Hitler proclaiming that there was only one Lord, one Führer for a Christian, Jesus Christ. We celebrated the appearance of the Virgin of Guadalupe to the indigenous convert Juan Diego, who proved his encounter by spilling out roses from his cloak, roses in winter on the desk of the unbelieving bishop. And we remembered with delight our devoted Slow Church anchor, wise woman, bringer of welcome, resistor of all orthodoxies, Pat Janess, who the morning before had slipped quietly into her next great adventure. Bear witness to the light. And you, all of you, this evening, as you set your table and bring in your third candle, whether it's blue or purple or pink or white, or remember, as you ignite that candle, that you too bear witness to the light.